Hey everyone, Zian over here from Nintendo Life. So gaming advertisements have changed a lot over the years. I think if you happen to be watching this video, it means that you've probably seen a lot of advertisements for video games. And some of them are pretty straightforward, you know, like it's just they show you off what the game can do. But then sometimes we might see something where, I don't know, some people are taking a walk, a nice walk on a beach, and then suddenly a bunch of zombies pop out and start destroying the area, and they pull guns out of their pocket and they start shooting, and I don't know, it makes you think, like, it shows you the weird side of gaming and advertisements. And oftentimes I don't think these ads make us want to play the games, but they're silly and they catch your attention. They make you remember the games, right? So today we're going to be taking a look back at some advertisements that I found, but that we as a group remember from reading in magazines, the good old print format of media. But of course, when I say we, that means I'm not alone. Alex, are you there? Are you there today?
I am, yes.
But also, I think it's not just us. There is another member of this YouTube channel, isn't there, right? I think he happens to have an obsession with squishing Metroids these days, I've learned.
It's Donkey Kong.
No, it's
hello everybody, it's me, Donkey Kong.
This is going to be another very interesting video, everyone.
Ho ho!
I don't wish to judge, but is that your best DK impression?
Santa Claus
Oh,
is Donkey
come on,
Kong?
Diddy! Let's go get King K. Rool! Ho ho!
Hello, John. Hello, DK.
Hello.
How are you? Are you ready to carry that throughout this whole video?
I can try, but I think the energy's already gone. But hello!
I think you've already lost it.
Yeah.
Maybe. By the fact that you started using your normal
I'm
baritone.
Homer Simpson! Whoa-ho!
So, to get into the video, like I mentioned, today what we're going to be doing...
We're doing a video?
We are, if you can believe it or not. Ripley's. We are going to be taking a look at old video game magazine advertisements from mostly Nintendo. There are a few from Sega. There might be a PlayStation 1 in there here and there that I pulled out that I thought were just too good to pass over. But for the most part, we're going to be looking at Nintendo ones, some third-party IP ones. And I tried to find the ones that were the most... Like obviously the ones that I remembered from when I was a kid, but also ones that like just caught your attention. Some of you might get to the end of this video, by the way, and realize, what? Why didn't Zion save that one particular Nintendo one? You know, that everybody talks about, and that's because some advertisements were just slightly, maybe they were offensive, and I don't feel that we need to showcase them here. So we're going to be skipping over some of them.
Some of them got dicey.
I too did a Google search for weird Nintendo ads, and it was mostly things that, whilst they are clearly fine to be printed in a magazine, or at least they were, I wouldn't feel entirely comfortable showing, basically.
Yeah.
And also, it's been done to death. If you've Googled it and it's come up, then it's not going to be interesting.
In the DS era, they loved talking about touching. There was
they
so
did,
much touching.
didn't they? Yeah.
Yeah.
But so let's just get into it right away. So I have some of these categorized. What we're going to start out with is we're going to start out with ones that revolve around butts. Because like I said, also I forgot. But before we get into it, I pulled all of these ads, by the way, from a website called retromags.com. They they basically are like an online database for retro gaming magazines. They have magazines from like the 80s, 90s, the 2000s. They might even have some more recent ones as well. But I just want to thank them for and all the contributors for putting in all the effort into making those magazines readily available. But let's get into the butts. So this first one here, this is just for Kirby's Dream Land 2. Kid's got it in his back pocket, burning a hole away. But yeah, for some reason, the 90s was just like obsessed with talking about kicking butts and showing butts and having gross butts, just everything. I don't know. I don't know why.
Nothing's changed. The world still loves butts, Leon.
Yeah, although it's, I think to be honest, I think the people for whom these ads were commonplace have grown up and their tastes have remained the same, but they've gone in a different direction, perhaps.
Perhaps.
This is another Nintendo one. which is basically the same idea, but just with
They really
a
did
Game
love
Boy.
butts.
Right.
They did, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't until like a few ads in I was like, yeah, the butts are that's a real thing. This one is for Beavis and Butthead and Oddworld Adventures. Beavis and Butthead are doing their thing, looking at magazines. But then we have Abe over here, right? Just farting in a magazine, because why not, right? Then we also have this one for...
I didn't even realize Oddworld came out on Game Boy.
Yeah, I don't...
Not gonna lie.
This ad is doing its part. Now we know.
Yeah.
I suppose so.
And I'm gonna go to my local Woolworths and buy it.
There's also this Starshot one, which at first, like, you might think that it has nothing to do with butts until you read the tagline. Would one of you like to read that for me?
Kick evil in the asteroid.
There was a Ratchet and Clank game that's called Up Your Arsenal, which is quite similar to that kind of.
Totally.
Yeah.
I forgot.
That's a lot more. That's a lot more crude, though. I think the latter, rather than kick evil in the asteroid.
The 90s were also the era where it was like, wow, girls like play games. They can kick butt. They're badass too. So obviously we have this.
She'll get my butt. What?
Yeah, like what? Like and that was another thing too. Was like so many ads back then would like assault the reader, and or they would like try to offend you. You know, they try to make it sound like you wouldn't be able to beat this game.
Yeah.
And this was just another, like, I don't really like this ad at all. I think it's offensive.
But at the
still in its
bottom,
own
there's
way.
just a completely different tone. At the top is just this kind of...
I love that.
Yeah, it's sort of like almost like empowering, like daring you to play the game. And then there's just Tecmo stackers just chilling down there.
Maybe they were just like, hey,
You can't beat this game, but you know one that you can. It's Tecmo Stackers.
the person like running the PR for Tecmo Stackers was like, hey, Dave, I know you have that Dead or Alive ad running. Any chance I could like just squeeze a little bit of that ad space from you, you know? And there it is. But so speaking of butts, now we move into the Crash Bandicoot portion of this video, because there's a lot of really great Crash ads, and we're not even going to scratch the surface of them. So
That's the Microsoft guy.
Yeah. Oh, you're right.
Yeah, it's that Microsoft
is.
character.
You're right. And there's his most recognizable feature. Not gonna lie, I've played some Crash Bandicoot games, and I've never seen that. And you
I've
always
never wondered about his butt.
I'm more annoyed that the fact that they seem to think that a Bandicoot would have a human
Oh, it's
gluteus
shaved.
maximus.
It's just shaved. That's all. Because he had a procedure done. You know, they had to clean him up.
Still, animals don't have those. Generally, some do.
Well, Crash
Well, we
Bandicoot's
don't know
just
it was a
skirting the
procedure.
line.
I mean, to be fair, Crash Bandicoot himself is not that anatomically correct to a Bandicoot, so maybe my priorities are going in the wrong direction.
John, were you
We
just
don't
trying
know
to
what he's
imply?
here for.
Yeah, were you trying to
I think
imply
he's
that
just
he got
manscaping.
a butt? Maybe, like he had a butt.
No, I think he just takes
installed?
care of the hair on his behind. I think he's there for another reason. Probably death related, because he dies a lot in Crash Bandicoot.
Doesn't DK have a nice
Doctor,
butt?
I'm dead.
Yeah, he's got a broken knee,
A broken heart.
I have
broken heart.
This
Stop,
isn't an
please.
advertisement, but this Donkey Kong Country guide, by the way, you can see it. It features features DK full on, right?
Where?
Hey, Diddy!
What do you guys think of that?
Why? Why are
Oh,
there
for
so
goodness
many?
Why
sake.
not?
It's. I'm so glad as a society we've. Well, no, we haven't moved on.
We've changed,
No, we've
but
not.
our tastes have refined, I think.
Next, arse, please.
So actually, we're done with butts now. Now we're moving on
Aw.
to something a little more.
Oh, for goodness
Front and
sake!
I can't even say words about this one. But instead, I
there's
will.
shock value, but this just really feels. I mean, from a 2022 perspective, this just feels cringeworthy.
What's funny though is like Crash's defining trait is like his jeans. He's a Bandicoot
Yeah.
in jeans, and all these ads so far are like, "What have you focused on his butt?" Like, it's so weird.
I think there's so much happening in this ad. Like the mirror,
Yeah.
the mirror gives us another perspective. Everyone everyone's face is telling a different story as far as their emotions go. Like
Does he know these people? Like, I can't tell if her expression is one of, like, nice, Crash, or what are you doing, Crash, or who are you, Crash?
It definitely looks like
it's
this.
maybe a mix of all three.
I think the person in the yellow must work there because they're holding some different size suits, I'm assuming.
But why isn't he in a booth? Why isn't he in a changing booth? He's out there. He's like,
why
what?
are we trying to find the narrative in this image?
Because this was for a Game Boy Advance game. This was not even a PlayStation
I need to
title.
go shopping soon. I can't deal with
Crash in a cube.
What? Which game is this?
This is for Crash Bandicoot,
Wrath of
the Wrath of
Wrath of
Cortex on the
Cortex,
GameCube.
yeah.
Crash Cube.
That is at least marginally. I mean, like the whole cube thing. They've put air holes in there.
Oh yeah.
The mum isn't looking at him. She's looking like up.
Oh, she's.
I see. Okay, there's that
okay,
thing in the
yeah,
sky.
to
That
be
makes
fair,
sense.
yeah.
I was missing that.
She's not
Yeah.
concerned about the fact that there is a giant Bandicoot in the living room. She's more concerned about the giant Bandicoot-shaped hole in the ceiling. But we have another Crash Bandicoot one to observe, and this one, honestly, like, this one is after this week's news. This one is perfect. It is.
Oh, that's
yes,
amazing.
I've seen that going around.
Oh, has it gotten shared around again?
Well, I've seen it once. Let me put it that way.
Oh, no worries.
Which is enough for me.
I miss Mascot Crash. Like, there were so many ads of this big guy in a suit, and we need it back. We need him to come back.
It was nice to see that.
I mean, to be fair, whenever you go to an event nowadays, there's a big, someone in a Mario and Luigi and often Pikachu costume. Why not Crash Bandicoot?
Yeah, why not?
Well, they did.
Why not Phil Spencer?
One of the years I was at E3, I think it was when Insane Trilogy came back. They did have a person dressed up, like running around with the megaphone and.
Oh, they did, yeah.
And I don't know if you were there that year, John, but then they also one year had Crash in like the entrance lobby, and there was a Sega booth with Sonic, and so Crash was like making fun of Sonic periodically. It was so good, but. I agree. I would love to see these kind of print Crash ads come back again too.
Did you have Sonic, or the person in the Sonic suit more specifically with the great big hands just sort of doing this?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I think Sonic wasn't saying anything, and Crash was just like creating drama.
Crash was there flipping the bird, and
Exactly. But I think they had a dance off at one point too. So yeah, it was good.
Tangent. Oh, when you said they had a dance, I thought you were going to say they did like a waltz together. I would pay so much money to see that.
I mean, they could have. They were there like 3 days, so I bet it probably happened, but it just might not be.
Yeah.
I mean, Crash's
absolutely.
face was fully revealed the whole time, so he might have held back some emotions, in the suit. But
when you say Crash's face, do you mean the man in the suit's face?
correct.
The man
Yes.
has become Crash. He's been that character for too long. He goes back to his wife. He says,
Honestly,
hey, it's me. It's
I
Crash."
remember
Wumba
that.
wumba.
Moving on, now we're gonna look at some ones featuring hair. This one is for
goodness.
Goemon's
Oh, wow.
Great Adventure.
What?
Yep. I don't know about you, but when I was a kid,
What does that text say? It's very illegible.
I think-
Is that Mark Zuckerberg?
Oh, God.
Oh, it does. It is. It's that stare. I think, at least for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, what does the text say? Once, courage and strength were the only marks of an action hero. Now, its messy blue hair, a bit like Sonic, has just woken up.
We also have a person with no hair who's just full sending Pac-Man.
Oh my god, that's the well. I was wondering why his head was so sharp on one side. It's just the well of the magazine. That's fine.
He had an
Or the gutter,
accident.
I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah. He's trying to conceal the issue with now the Pac-Man.
His wife's like, you didn't tell me you were Pac-Man? This is the kind of thing you
What
say
do you
in the wedding
mean?
vows.
You're right. I'm so sorry, honey. I couldn't. I thought you'd look at me differently. I love you. Can you be Miss
Just
Pac-Man?
turns around and goes, waka waka.
Presents her a red bow. Says, please join me, please.
A red bow and some hair clippers.
Yeah. So then, kind of also riffing off of the Goemon one, I don't really. I look at these ads and I'm like, this is not what I think of Goku in human form, I don't think he would look like this.
That's best than Goemon, though.
I don't think he would look so depressed.
Yeah. I mean, this looks...
Yeah,
I
that's true.
hated the Goemon one. That made my eyes hurt. This one at least has some sort of attitude to it, but it's not good, though.
Yeah, it's got that kind of like 2000s, like I definitely had one of those necklaces.
Oh, yeah, like surf's up, dude.
Mm-hmm. We also, that's not the only Dragon Ball one we have. We also have this one of Vegeta, which I think is a bit better. The Widow's Peak kind of just like, I think it was probably photoshopped in, and it kind of weirds me out. But it's fine, I guess.
Did Vegetable have a Widow's Peak like that?
It was probably photoshopped in, and it kind of weirds me out. John, what about you? Do you have a preference of Virginia at all? Vegas Pro. Let's just go on to the next one.
Let's move on.
Let's just. So speaking of,
I love vegan.
So now we're gonna move on to the Nintendo focused ads. So this is.
They really don't make ads like this anymore, and I for one am pleased.
Part of me wishes they did, just so we could laugh at them, but I don't think ads like this really helped anyone. Like, are you telling me that this made you want to buy Wario World? Because
yeah, I'd buy Wario World for that.
It like
bling
Wario
bling king.
is the bling bling king.
Down at the bottom it says "Pile drive your way to riches in Wario's biggest adventure." And I understand that that's kind of a move Wario does, but it makes me uncomfortable.
But you might see that and say, I want to be Wario. I want him to change me.
I mean, this was 2003, so I suppose people looked at this and said, "Yep."
I'm just processing all of these ads going through a professional company. I mean, I can't really talk. We're technically a professional company, and I myself have made some incredible, like, Brad the Business stuff.
Yeah, I can't believe we let that guy on the channel, but it worked. It's fine. So, here we are. But this isn't the only Wario ad that we're going to be...
Moving on, we're going to be seeing the next ad that I put together.
Brad, it's not your video right now.
Explain this.
So I would love to. So this kid he basically ripped all of his teeth out, put them under his pillow, so that way he'd have enough money to buy Wario Land 4, is what I'm thinking. But at the bottom, they say, waiting for your teeth to fall out isn't the quickest way to get rich.
Look at all those coins. No way does he have that many teeth.
And look at them. Look, there's like a pair of pliers on the side over here. Like, this is violent.
Jesus.
He's got Wario pajamas.
I must admit, at first glance, I couldn't quite see because I'm quite far away from the monitor that I'm looking at. But if you zoom all the way out, it kind of looks like somebody... It just looks like he's smothering somebody with blonde curls.
It does a bit.
Just at a glance, from a distance.
Dude, he's messed up.
That's not a good look. But what you said makes more sense, and I'm very disappointed that I had to say that.
In the ad, they also said it's just the price you have to pay to be this greedy. I really hope Nintendo didn't... So, like, a lot of kids read these magazines, right? Like, I hope a kid didn't have, like, get any funny ideas from something like this, and so please, if this happened to you, if you ripped out any teeth because of this advertisement, please let us know in the comments below, but also, I'm so sorry. How does this one make you feel? Does this one make you want to get a burger?
I have a feeling that somebody needed to make an ad quickly.
I don't really understand what's going on here. There's just like, there was also an era of like with gaming ads where they tried to be scary and like intimidating and make you like intrigued about the game, and I think this was kind of one of those as well. Like, a monkey has Donkey Kong Land #1 shaved into its head.
It's always funny to me when ads are like, this game has 30 levels. Like, that doesn't do anything. What do I do with that information?
I suppose.
I don't know. It looks upsetting to me. It looks like something from like an animal rights campaign.
Yeah,
it does.
And I mean, obviously, I know. I'm sure that it wasn't actually using. I mean, I really hope it wasn't using a real chimp. It's not entirely easy to tell from the image, but even so, it doesn't. It doesn't look like it doesn't look like a positive ad.
No.
No, it's...
And I'm sure that's intentional. I don't know what that is in the bottom right-hand corner. What is that? Is that like a bottle or something?
Yeah, it's a bottle
of...
Oh,
it's shaving stuff.
So this is actually this is silly. I like this. It says Big Ape Beard Blaster, Gorilla Gel, but it also says Play It Loud, which was part of the Game Boy slogan back then. So this is an ad for Mario is Missing.
I'm just amazed they did an ad for it.
Yeah, for real.
Dear Luigi, I think Bowser is up to something really nasty. It could get dangerous. Your bro Mario. P.S. Someone's at the door.
Why would you write that? Why would you write P.S. Someone's at the door?
I mean, just in case if Luigi was... Mario, he didn't know who it was. He wasn't expecting... anyone, he wasn't expecting Peach to pop in.
But you wouldn't write that!
I also love the fact that the Mario is Missing is, covered, so you can barely even read the fact that, this game... we know this is Mario is Missing, right? And, you can kind of tell, but,
This tells you nothing about the game.
So this one's... I wouldn't really say this is an advertisement. This was in a issue of Nintendo Power, issue 193 in 2005. Where it was a giveaway where you could enter to win. You could win an early copy of Twilight Princess, which they wouldn't do that these days because everybody would upload it to or that person would upload it to the internet and share all the details. But I love that they were just trying to show gamers' priorities by saying that obviously this kid's gonna get it early and play the game before anyone else, right? But then Steph is at the airport. Or he has to pick up Steph at the airport, but then Steph is just there waiting for him. There's such a story within this ad itself, and everything here is just so hastily put together as well. The Triforce on the back of his shirt doesn't look like it's there.
The box art's amazing.
Yeah.
It's just The Legend of Zelda. I mean, I know it says Twilight Princess, but
so obviously we have to mention the Earthbound ad as well because that is just such an iconic thing from that era.
It's so strange.
Yeah, this was in an issue of Electronic Gaming Monthly. It was an insert, basically. You opened it and it was a book inside of a book sort of ad, But so you opened this up, and by the way, they're basically just trying to talk about how smelly and disgusting Earthbound is, which still just baffles me so much.
It's like living inside your gym shoes.
Yeah, and then you open it up. And the nice thing is there's a coupon in here for $10 off the game, which is cool, considering the game was a $90 title in the US here. But then they just talk about how smelly and gross and disgusting the game is. And I don't know. I always wonder if Earthbound would have done better if they marketed it properly. But
it's so strange. Yeah. Because the game itself isn't even gross out. There's barely any of this sort of humor in there. Apart from maybe the Belch guy. But it's so weird that everything revolved around this. Yeah,
that was just what adults thought kids liked back then. And I think there were kids that did enjoy that. To be fair,
but I think children did like that, yeah. There was a lot of, toilet humor books and things like that aimed at children. At least in the... this would have been the 90s. Ignore me.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I definitely remember loving Captain Underpants, but I don't know if it was...
Yeah.
I don't know what it was.
That was on the sort of the slightly more sort of tame side, but there was also loads of other things.
So I'm just going to breeze by a couple other Nintendo ones that were just random and weird. This is obviously Princess Peach taped over the Mona Lisa, right?
That's good.
Right? So they're referring to the N64 expansion pack as steroids, I guess.
I guess.
But
splendid.
So that's a thing.
Nintendo is a family-friendly company.
I mean, they would. That's the thing, right? It's it's so bizarre to look back at these and realize that this was how Nintendo marketed themselves back in the day. They just, it was just bizarre. So this was a Secret of Evermore one from the Super Nintendo. The main character is accompanied by a dog, and the thing with the dog is that the dog is your friend throughout the whole game. It's your companion. But this advertisement is making it sound like the dog is the villain of the game. And that was just another thing they did. Oh gosh. So we also have to look at the Rayman ads too.
I love
this.
I remember the Rayman ads, but this is Ray and this is Rayman. Don't get them confused.
You probably have it, Xeon, but there's a great Rayman 3 one. Have you got that one?
I think I do.
Okay,
I think I do.
That's
is
the
this
one I was
the one you were?
about.
Yeah, I think
Everyone's
you
just
brought
kind of
this up.
looking at him. Like the guy on the far left is like, "Whoa!" Other ones are a bit more concerned.
No
I mean,
arms, no legs.
I don't want to bring up like too many images, but considering that Rayman has detached head and hands.
So then, speaking on the Secret of Evermore front, there's also this advertisement for Final Fantasy II, which I love. That's one of my favorite RPGs. I've played that game over and over again on different platforms. And I looked at this and was like, who in the hell is Ogo Pogo? What is that? These red claws? I don't remember a big red dragon. Can either of you tell me who Ogo Pogo is without looking it up?
No.
I imagine you can't.
Red evil thing that appeared in a Final Fantasy II ad, I believe.
What if I told you that is the English name of Leviathan?
Oh wow!
The water serpent summon. Yeah, so Ogo Pogo or whatever its name is, that's the English name in Final Fantasy 2/4. And we also have this Croc ad here as well. This is one of my favorite kind of ads, is where you have the mascot characters like dogging on the other mascots. I just think it's silly and playful, and we saw this a lot back in the day. So obviously we have silhouettes of Crash, Mario, and Lara Croft. And then we see their objects on the ground afterwards. But my favorite part is Mario's hat.
Yeah, just the end.
I think you'll find his name is Nario.
I also found this Sonic Adventure 2
hedgehog
one as well. And then look
good
at the
hedgehog.
way they.
That's a good hedgehog right there.
I like this idea of this person taking Pikachu on a plane with them.
I love that Pikachu render.
It's a great. I love Fat Pikachu. It's fantastic.
This Tetris one is pretty choice. I just love. It's like.
John, how did they get that picture of you?
I don't know, man, but no one was meant to see that.
I wish we could have been on the set for this one. I want to see the unused photos. I want to know. There's a story here, and I would love to see the rest of it. One of my other favorite ones, speaking of the Croc era, is this Ty the Tasmanian Tiger one. Yeah, I think honestly this ad might have been part of the reason I got so into the series back in the day. I think so. I'm only bringing up the Billy Hatcher one. Because I read it, and at the bottom here, they mention he may wear a rooster suit, but nobody calls him chicken. And then in that same Nintendo Power issue, I found this one of Tak and the Power of Juju.
Oh, no.
The same magazine. But last but not least, this is not a Nintendo ad, but this one just here it is. Here it is, boys. If you can't read it, honestly, that's better.
Could you zoom in a bit? I'm a bit far away. But Susan,
this is
I have
very
Klonoa.
relatable.
What the hell?
This is an advertisement for Klonoa on PlayStation 1.
Yes.
And I just the way I was reading the magazine digitally as well, I could only see one page at a time. So I didn't realize it was Klonoa at first. And I died. This is my favorite ad, I think, of all of them.
This is something very of the past.
I mean, I think it's also saying, "Hey, baby, I want Klonoa." That's just my general greeting to people.
This feels like an ad, right?
I mean, it is an ad.
Mom, we what's the or a meme? I feel like this is like a perfect meme template. Yeah. So that to end this video. But do you guys have any closing thoughts about advertisements in gaming? Anything you want to see changed? Any that you liked?
I mean, they were generally entertaining, and I suppose that's a good thing. But at the same time, I'm kind of glad we've sort of moved past this. As much as anything, there are so many extreme close-ups of people and things, and I'm just not. There we go.
Go on.
I'm not big on that. So. It can die a death, and it has. So I'm happy. That's good. I would have that today.
There are so many ads that don't describe anything. You look at them and they don't describe the game in any capacity. They just do whatever they want to do, and some of that's fun. I do kind of miss this era, but I think we're probably in a better place now, though.
I agree.
I do.
I agree.
I agree as well. There were so many ads like this trauma center one that I looked at. This does not make me want to play the game. It doesn't really tell me anything about it. Most people don't like blood, so why would you? I feel like this is going to deter people from wanting to look into your game more. And so I agree. I think some ads just are doing more harm than good.
It's just shock value, isn't it?
But of course, if you enjoyed taking a look at these ads, diving back into the past with us, let us know in the comments down below. Let us know how you feel about gaming ads. If there's a certain one that you wish we would go look up or that we would have featured in this video. I was searching desperately to find the one of the kids sitting on the toilet playing Spider-Man through the mirror with the Wavebird wireless controller, but I couldn't find it.
That's a classic.
I know there is an ad on Google like that I found, but it's not the same. So if anybody knows what I'm talking about, share that. And of course, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more videos like this, then why don't you go ahead and make a spicy advertisement that might make us cringe a little bit, but also intrigued by your game by clicking that subscribe button. And then ring the notification bell to be notified whenever we put up more videos like this. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you guys for joining me. Stay safe out there, and we will see you next time.
I'm going to turn you into an ad.